Hi everyone. I figured today was a good time to do a 2018 reading resolutions video. I did one last year, and I think for the most part I tried to stay on top of it. I didn't do all the things that I was gonna do, like I didn't finish my Goodreads reading challenge, but this is another fresh new year, so I figured I'll try and do this all over again. So the first resolution for my reading is to read more own voice books. This isn't something that I was very focused on previously, but now I think that it just helps me hear so many interesting stories, learn so much about different people's experiences way different from mine, some experience that I could never hear about otherwise. So I think it would be very valuable to read books written by authors who are actually experiencing these things. If you have any good recommendations for great books in that kind of category, please let me know. I'm always looking for interesting and unique stories to read about. The second resolution is to venture out more and to read a bigger kind of variety of books than I have been in the past. Obviously, I really enjoy reading thrillers, mystery, suspense, all of that, and I will obviously continue doing that, but I also need to kind of dive in and read other genres as well. I know I said I didn't want to read any more YA books, but if there is a good book that is well written and has a great message, then I would definitely pick it up and read it. I haven't read any romance last year. I stay far away from it, and I don't know that I'll want to read any this year, but if a book sounds good and it has a good storyline and interesting characters, then I would definitely give it a go and try to read it as well. Also, I want to continue trying to incorporate a bit more nonfiction books into my reading. I know sometimes they seem dull and not that interesting, but I've come across some really good ones in the past, and I would like to continue on reading those nonfiction books and learning something new about the world. My goal for 2018 is to read 50 books. I have yet to complete a Goodreads reading challenge, so wish me luck because I will definitely need it. And I'm also doing a Pop Sugar reading challenge, which luckily I have a bunch of books that kind of fit the criteria for it, so I'm well on my way. I have a lot of books, so hopefully I'll complete the challenge as well. I'm trying to do a lot of reading kind of in the beginning of the year this year, because previously it'd be December and I would have 15 more books to read, which would be kind of challenging. So I decided to try and get it as many as I can earlier in the year. That way I can be more flexible with my reading later on. So hopefully it will work out, but there's no guarantees right now. We'll see how it goes. There's one genre of books that I haven't really read a lot of, and that's Nordic noir, which is books written in Sweden and Norway and all the Nordic countries. And the only books that I've read that really took place there, I think, were probably the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series a few years back. And I really enjoyed those, and I know that's a huge genre that I haven't fully explored and haven't really dived into very deeply, so I think I want to read those books. I know there's lots of thrillers, and there's lots of mysteries and detective type books, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading more of those and diving into that a little bit. So if you know any really good ones that you've read and enjoyed, please let me know. I'd be very happy to give those a go. The next resolution is to try and read more books written by women. I actually knew a person who for a year decided to only read books written by women, which I thought was very interesting. And I mean, there's a lot of wonderful books written by women, so I'm sure it would be a great year to just read those books. But I haven't set that particular goal, but I'm definitely looking to read more books written by women about different topics, and definitely about some nonfiction books, about feminism, just about women's perspectives. So I'm really excited to do more of that this year. Finally, my last goal is to buy less books and try and finish all of my books. My dream is to, have all of my books read so that I can go into a store like a Barnes & Noble or whatever, an independent bookstore, and just pick out a book, whichever interests me in that moment, and go home and read it right away. Because it never happens to me. I go out, I pick out a book, I buy it, and then I don't read it for like another year or longer. And I really want to kind of break that cycle and actually finish my books, go out, pick up a book, and read it right away, instead of letting it sit on my shelf until I get around to reading it next. And same with library books too. I mean, I'm notorious for hijacking library books, where I have a bunch of them sitting on my Kindle and I turn off my Wi-Fi so they can't get the books back, and I just have them sitting for months and months. I really have to get through those, finish them all so I can finally open my Kindle connection and just read a book at a time. Sometimes it's hard to do when there's a long wait list, then you get all your books at once and then you can't read them all, but I just have to figure something out with that. So this is all for my 2018 reading resolutions. I'm aiming kind of low. I feel like that's what I said last year. I aimed low and I still failed somehow. So hopefully this year I'll aim low and I'll actually get through it. I mean, 50 books is a bit, but I have faith that I can do it. So that's it for my 2018 reading resolutions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.